Good evening. 5 things that we learned from City's 5-0 win last night against Sparta Prague. How are you doing? It's Stephen here. The day after that very comfortable, very entertaining victory. A victory that I would argue City needed. Given everything that's going on, given all the injuries and all that kind of stuff. Actually, to be honest, I've just realised one of the things I wanted to talk about, which I forgot to put in this video, was the injuries. So, spoiler, there's no injury talk in this video. It's actually just about the game itself. That is 6 things that we learned there, actually, is that we need players with injuries. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about 5 different things because it was a fun night of football. And I want to revel in it a tiny bit more because why not, you know? It was genuinely a decent game of football. I'm not saying City were perfect, but I liked it. If you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. It helps support the channel, or maybe become a member, or check out the Patreon. Anything else like that to help, it does mean the world to me. Give the video a like while you're here as well. Help support a lifelong City fan and content creator giving you the stuff for free. Hope you enjoy it. It is more than appreciated. Of course, once again, this is just 5 things that I took from it. A more in-depth breakdown was last night after the game. But for now, I'm going to just dive straight into the video. And the first thing I want to talk about is Matheus Nunes. I had to start here. I also want to talk about that guy next to him, James McAtee, but I didn't go there for this video either. But I got to start for Nunes because he took his chance last night. He did. Nunes was good last night. A lot of people who obviously follow me on Twitter, who watch this channel, probably know how I feel about Nunes. And I've not been the most complimentary. I wouldn't say I've been harsh. I think I've been pretty fair. I would argue I'm always reasonably fair. My view of Nunes is that he's a good player, but not a great player. But last night he had a very good performance, and that is all you can do when given a chance. And despite my view, I'm a firm believer in the meritocracy. I'm a firm believer that if a player plays well, they have to start more. And Nunes took his chance, and I probably should have changed the title of this bit here. The title of this video is Nunes to start more, and the bit at the bottom should say Nunes should start more, and he should do, simply because we need him. When you look at where the context of City are right now, I would say City's weaknesses are injuries and fit squad. We have not got many players. No Rodri, no De Bruyne, you know, currently got Grealish and Doku out, you know, got Oscar Bob out as well. So we've got that, and maybe a lack of physicality is the second problem. We haven't got much pace in midfield. We've got Kovacic, Gundogan, and Bernardo. Those guys tread water. They really do, man. They are they are slow and cumbersome at the best of times, if we're being honest. And probably a bit of vibrancy and box-to-box coverage on the counter, which Nunes can do that with his pace to get back. So I think Nunes, he had to have a good game. Admittedly, I still don't think he's a left winger. He played as a left winger last night and had a good game. I would argue playing left winger against Sparta Prague, who are a good side, but they're a decent side. They probably get relegated in the Premier League. It's still not the true test of his ability, but all he can do is play and beat what's in front of you, and last night he did. I would like to see Nunes get more chances because he deserves more chances after a performance like that. If you play and you're a squad player and you get man of the match in a game, you deserve another chance again. That's just a fact. That's how it should be. And even though I still feel my general view on Nunes is that I think time will tell, he's probably not quite the elite level that we're hoping for as a City midfielder, I could be wrong. And I want to be wrong. And I still feel that. And I want to see him playing, you know, this weekend against Southampton. And I want to see him play after that. And I want to see how he'll get a chance. Look, right now, with the injuries to Jeremy, Doku, and Jack Grealish, he has to start. I mean, he absolutely does have to start. So, there is no way that he doesn't. You know, it's one of those things where it's guaranteed. Someone's having problems with the sound. I guarantee you the sound's coming, mate. Maybe. I mean, the sound is there. Yeah. So I don't know if it's you or it's a bit quiet. I apologise if it's a bit quiet. Oh, there we go. That should be a bit better now. Apologies. The sound was a bit low. But yeah. Anyway. Fingers crossed that'd be a little bit better. But yeah, Nunes has to play. He absolutely does. It's one of those things where he's more than earned his chance. He had a good performance. I watched back a compilation on Twitter. I still don't think he pulled up trees in the way that the stats would show it. I thought it was a good performance. I don't think it was an insane performance, but it was a good performance, you know. And it was a little things where he overhit a couple of passes still, but then, look, he got a beautiful cross for an assist. He made a nice run and played a nice little reverse pass. It was a simple pass to Haaland, but he had to be there to make it. And he did with his energy. Then, of course, he won a penalty and scored it. Like, what more can you do, really? You know, it was a really good performance. And right now, where he's at, look, Nunes, I know how I feel. I want to be so wrong. And he took his chance yesterday, and he absolutely deserves to start the next few games. Did we really learn this? I don't know. but I want to talk about it anyway. Like, it's one of those things where every time he does something like this, Anonymous, by the way, look, refresh, mate. The sound is absolutely there. It's just you, my friend. Every time we talk about Haaland, we talk about how special he is. And I think the very nature of Erling Haaland not being normal makes him stand out to the point where people want to pick apart his game and what he can and can't do. We're watching brilliance here, and I think even us as fans sometimes don't take the time to appreciate it, because brilliance, you become accustomed to it. Like, people get normalised to genius to the point where they start to judge it on another level because they get sick of it. And Haaland is not normal, and therefore he's treated differently to everyone else. If he does special things, people go, whatever, because they're so used to it. Whereas when he has a game last night, you see just how ridiculous it is that we take him for granted. We don't take him for granted, but football takes him for granted. Because Haaland last night, look, the quality of those goals, and this is a guy who obviously, he needs a service, but the service last night was so, it wasn't like he was getting golden opportunities. That first goal, it's not even a fucking half chance. It's not even a quarter chance. It's not even a tenth of a chance. No one else in world football scores that goal. Zlatan might have done it, maybe at one point, but no one else does it. That is a combination of factors. For one, you have to be 6'5" to get to that. You have to have the agility of a yoga expert, a martial arts expert. You have to have the finishing ability of a all-time great. You have to have genius movement and the bravery to try it in the first place. Like, to have those qualities, it's such a unique set of skill. Like, it's a phenomenal goal, truly special goal. And I feel lucky to witness it. I really, really do. 44 goals in 42 Champions League games. This is the world's premier club competition. Probably the highest level of quality in football. It probably is. It really, truly is. And the fact that he scores this many goals that well, it's ridiculous, man. Like, the service doesn't even have to be great. Look at last night. Like, that cross would have gone over past most people, but he still turned it into an insane goal. And the second goal as well, the way he just shifted it onto his right foot and put it in the far corner. Most people don't score that. They just don't. Because they just don't have the ability. Like, the second goal they don't score, never mind the first one. No one even tries the first one. And the fact that Haaland does these things, look, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I love him. I think he's an absolute phenomenal talent. And I think you guys know that too. And I think the fact that he's not normal makes people get a bit bored of him, because they're so used to his brilliance. But nights like that remind them of just how special he is. And the rumours are that he's considering signing a contract too. Sign the thing, mate. This is interesting. So while at the moment we're lacking goals, what stood out to me right now is the defenders are bringing the goals. So John Stones scored his third in the season, 2 in 2 games. Another fine looping header. Of course, Josko Guardiola stepped up so far this season. Ake, in my opinion, should have had a goal last night, a perfectly legitimate goal, in my opinion, ruled out. I know it was given as a handball, but I think it's nonsense. It's never in a million years as a handball. Whatever. I just don't agree with the laws. I just don't. I think he was there where he needed to be. But right now, I've got to say, fair play to the defenders. There's a real goal threat. Stones can score goals. Vardiol can score goals. Ake is good for a goal. He is. Ake's a real threat in the box. And the corners are getting actually better. So right now, John Stones, Guardiola quipped last night that if Haaland's not available, Stones could play there. And he's obviously semi-joking, but he's fully joking. But it's nice to know that there is an element of truth in that, the fact that the defenders are stepping up right now. And look at that face there, man. That is a happy man. And he does deserve it. You're absolutely right, Mike, in the chat. It's one of those things where I think Stones had a really slow start to the season. And even being honest, about 3 or 4 games ago, I looked at him and thought, you're 30 going on 35 here, mate. You don't look young. You don't look anywhere near your best. And right now, Stones is finding his rhythm. He's finding his confidence. And goals in big moments like that, football is so much about psychology. You can put 11 dots on a board and arrange it in a formation, and you can tell players to do this and spend money and do that and whatever, and analyze stats and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes the best thing a player can get is just a fucking goal, man. Like, goals and fun things in football bring happiness and bring confidence, and they give you a spring in your step. The beauty of football is that a happy player is always a better player. He's always a better player. It's just true. Because happy players are confident players. And confident players look quicker. They look sharper. They look like they make better decisions. Look like better footballers. Are they faster and sharper? Are they faster? No, they're not. The difference is when you're happy and you're confident, you don't second guess yourself. You make decisions that are better, and you make them without a pause or hesitation. So your confidence is up, so you look faster, you look sharper. And this is what you see with John Stones right now. Things that he's doing are coming off, same for Guardiola, because they're confident and they're happy. So John Stones stepping up and scoring goals, and Haaland scoring goals like last night. Look, the defenders are bringing goals, which is great, but the team looks happy, and I really like it. And I think there's something in as well when the defenders bring goals. These aren't your popular goal scorers, so it's not something that you're used to. It's actually quite exciting to see your defenders score goals because everyone's excited for them, everyone's buzzing for them. It helps the whole team, so it's useful in many ways, statistically, because we need the goals, and two, I think it helps the entire team. And also, look at the confidence it's bringing to Stones and Guardiola. I love it. This was wild. Pep actually tried a new tactic last night. I think Guardiola's joked before that one day maybe we'll just if the team sit in the box, all 11 players in the 18-yard box, maybe we just keep the ball and do nothing. And last night he actually tried it. I think we were 3-0 up, were we? I don't know, something like that. When Sparta decided to stay in their own half, so Akanji literally turned and walked back towards his own goal, and even Diaz were like, even Stones, like, what do we do? They just sort of passed it around themselves until Sparta were like, I guess we have to come out. I mean, it made painful viewing, I would argue, for the fans in the ground. But it shows that Guardiola is absolutely always thinking about ways to sort of get a rise out of his opponents, and I don't know if it'll work fully, because eventually someone's just going to call a bluff on it and the game's going to go nowhere. And it only really works if you're winning, because if you're drawing 0-0 at home at the Etihad, I guarantee you Southampton aren't going to be like, we best push out. They'll be like, you do you, lads, you waste your time, we're happy with a point. But it's fascinating to see Guardiola try that. And it was interesting because it did draw space and it did create space behind the press. Look, De Zerbi's a master at doing that kind of stuff in terms of baiting the press, so to speak. And I find it fascinating that Guardiola chose to do this now, because Guardiola's talked an awful lot recently about, trying to break down teams. And we've always had like low blocks since Guardiola's been here, but it's reached fever pitch level, man. Like the level of low blocks against City is absolutely absurd. Everyone does it. Everyone. It used to be like a few teams would have a go. Spurs have a go still, but even Arsenal do. Everyone just low blocks against us. Everyone does it, man. They're all terrified of us. So Pepe's always thinking about ideas to invite a bit of pressure, create some space, and he's absolutely right to say, look, it's so hard to do what we do because you've got no space in behind. We haven't got giants that you can whip it into. We've got one. I would like to see him innovate even more. That guy there, where is he? John Stones, the previous guy. Vardy, get him in the area, man, alongside Haaland. If everyone's going to sit in their 18-yard box, get them all in the area and let your Bernardos and your Fodens get outside the area and they can whip in the crosses or take shots from distance while the big men can get on the end of the crosses. I would not be against that, as a crazy tactic. But Pep's thinking about these things. It's very obvious. And I thought that was fun last night, if not necessarily a game changer. It was interesting. Finally, Savinho continues to grow. A really good performance. Probably my man of the match after Nunes last night. I don't know why Joel in the chat's fretting over Savio. I mean, there's no signs of him not taking shots, mate. He tries to get his shots away. He really does. Last night, he could have passed it about 3 times in one dribble and got his shot away. It didn't go in, and he's desperate for that goal. But I think he's showing signs of being the star that he could be. He's 20 years old. He's aggressive. He's worked so hard. And Guardiola rightfully pointed out what makes him so much fun. There is a Brazilianness to him that I do love. Nunes is unashamedly aggressive in his game approach. Brazilian players, they get up and they go again and they go again and they go again and they go again and they keep running at you. It's one of Vinicius Junior's best attributes. They're so relentless as attackers because they're bold and they're fearless, and the football they play, on the streets, from the beaches, it's that kind of football. It's all about flair and goals and skill. And Savinho's got a lot to that to him. We have to remember where he's come from, He's come from the La Liga, but only as a 20-year-old lad. He's very young still, and he stepped up in the Liga, and he was great there. One of the best wingers in the league. He's stepping up now in the Premier League. And the goal will come. It will come. But the assist last night, the way he did his man and got it across, look, he's affecting games. He's affecting big games too. The Arsenal, of course, Haaland assist. He's got 4 assists for us now, I think, already. which is very early on in the season. If he carries on at this rate, he's going to have 15 to 20 assists. He's got a really good ratio already, and he'll get better. He's going to be a really good player, Savinho, and I love having a young Brazilian winger with that much ability. 20 years old. Look, he's not the finished product, nowhere near the finished product, but he's a superstar in the making. I've got absolutely no doubt about it. So the 5 things I took from this game, I also wanted to talk about, McAtee, because I think McAtee's still showing signs of getting better. Nice little cameo. Rico had a really good game as well. Foden, didn't get a chance to chat about him, but man of the match last night, allegedly, for UEFA. I knew he was man of the match personally. I think it was Nunes or Savinho or Haaland. But Foden, still getting better. Gundogan, still not having a great game, but we will see how it goes. But that's some 5 things I took from it. Nunes deserves to play more. He should play more. Savinho continues to grow as a footballer. Haaland is not normal, and we've normalised him not being normal so much. The fact that he needs to do something last night to remind us. The defenders are stepping up, scoring goals, and Guardiola's still innovating. Thanks very much for watching this. Just a quick video because it's late at night. I'll be back, of course, for my preview tomorrow night ahead of the weekend's game. For now, thanks for watching. You're all absolute legends. Love you all loads. Come on, you Blues. In a bit. Bye-bye.